Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's your boy Cornogs here, and welcome to a brand new video. Today's content is a little bit different as I am in League of Legends. And if you don't feel like looking at this video because you hate League of Legends, or you're just not simply interested in League of Legends, or you just don't play League of Legends, uh, don't just skip away. But everyone who's playing jungle, I think these tips will really help you out. If you're new to the jungle, like completely new, I would recommend looking up your standard build first and foremost. This will help you a lot, having at least some sort of understanding of what the hell do you need to do in this game and how do you build. So for example, if I'm Kindred, the standard build path would be like Kraken into Berserks, into Collector, into Infinite Edge, into Lord Doms, and then last item is really optional. You can go Guardian Situation, Guardian Angel, you can go Rapid Cannon, which I really like on Kindred, and that's about it. You need to scout these things out beforehand, and you'll be good to go like that. Also, knowing which abilities to level up is really important. And one way to improve at these things would be just downloading an application at the start that will help you out a lot. Like there's a bunch of them: Face Check, Blitz, Mobilistics, Professor, and if I said Blitz, if I didn't say Blitz, I don't remember anymore. So basically, Blitz. And these apps will help you a lot with a lot of these things. For example, knowing your stats from once, that's like the first thing. Knowing how to build properly, knowing how to level up your abilities properly, and some of them even show your weaknesses in the game plan and all that sort of stuff, which is really cool. And you should learn from all of these things. So my next step would be having a solid understanding of how to recognize a gank, because ganking for most junglers is either very weak or they just lack the understanding. They just gank because, well, they have to gank because they're jungler, right? But instead of that, you need to think about it differently. Can you gank? Will you die? Will you die if you gank? And if one of those answers are no, it's probably a bad gank. But if you just started in jungle, how do you recognize a bad gank in the first place? And how will you not know if you don't die? Basically speaking, all of this is coming down to, the second thing mostly. How do you know that I won't die? It mainly it comes from the experience with the game and with your champion that you're playing. If, for example, I'm playing Kindred, I am very confident in playing 1v1 fights, especially someone who has a lot of skill shots. I know that with my Q and with my W cooldown, with my W that reduces my Q cooldown, I will be able to dodge and kite a lot more easier than they are, and it's really easy that way. So I feel very confident in playing 1v1s unless I know that this person is really stronger than me. For example, like Lee Sin. If Lee Sin kills me, if Lee Sin puts a Q on me, I know that fight is probably lost. But if I dodge this Q, Lee Sin basically becomes such a easy champion to duel with. So if you want to fight Lee Sin, make sure that you can dodge his Q, and then basically he becomes a very weak champion overall. But good Lee Sins just won't miss that. So that's about it. So how do you recognize the gank then? How when can you gank? Now, so this is very I would say self-explanatory. So for example, this situation on top lane where the wave is like this is very common. So what you would expect that your ally champion would be somewhere around here, and enemy champion would be somewhere around there. So what do you expect? How is this a good gank? Number one, you need to check out allies HP bar. Then the second, how is the enemy champion looking? What's their HP bar? How's their mana? Wave state, most importantly. This is how you can see. We have a big wave. I'm on blue side. So we have a big wave, and that big wave is also going to deal a bunch of damage to the enemy champion. So what we need to do is we can just easily go for the gank there. Unless it's someone who has bunch who's already fed, who's already levels ahead of your laner, and as you play jungle, you will most likely be also level down or even two sometimes. Then it's really, even if the lane, if even if all the signs are right, your player is very healthy, big wave, and he is fed like 5-0 or something, 4-0, 3-0 even. Sometimes he has a farm advantage, level advantage. He has sums up most likely. If you haven't, like, unless you know for certain that their sums are down, you should probably not gank. But if their sums is down, you can actually go for some plays there, but you have to be really cautious and make sure that your top laner is also some sort of solid player at least, because he shouldn't be inting that much in any, because in any circumstances really. So if the wave is good, HP is good, and mana is good, you should go for it. But mana even sometimes isn't even the most necessary factor. Sometimes you can just go for it just because it's just so free and you just know you won't die. But the next thing that you need to keep in consideration, where the hell is the other jungler? And this will become easier with time, but the easiest way how to track it for someone who's new at the jungle and who wants to start at least learning something about how to track the jungler. Most young new junglers are fairly predictable. If the bot lane is gone or the top lane is gone, they're probably leashing. If the top lane is gone, they're leashing red. If the bot lane is gone, they're probably leashing blue. So what can you expect? Knowing the champion, for example, Kayn, if he started blue for some unknown reason, then he would be going probably a full clear. Then he would just like, you would know that he would take these three camps into this camp, into this camp, into this camp. If you can, and after that, it will be just so predictable where they're gonna go. So you, unless, so for example, if I'm Kindred and I'm gonna clear, if I know I'm against Kayn and both sides are appearing and he's doing most likely Raptors or Wolves, but most likely Raptors because most can do Raptors. If I don't have any vision, or what I like to do when I go against not just Kayn but overall a lot of players, I would just put the ward down here and then leave, because if Kayn would be starting on these Raptors, then I would just know. So in that sense, you can always predict where the enemy jungler is gonna go, unless he's really good and changes his patterns very well. But as you most likely are new to the jungle and you're fairly low elo, then you would understand that if he started bot side, then he's gonna full clear most likely all the way to top. Maybe skip these, because a lot of champions do tend to skip these to just go for the crab. Then you would already know that, and you would just need to play around it. So for example, you know that jungler would be here, so it's not really safe to go for any of these ganks. So you can just move maybe down to bot side and then look for a gank, or just be somewhere in this area and look for the gank, not playing here, because you know enemy jungler is here. So even if you kill the guy but you stay on low HP, for example, if you kill the mid laner but you know that enemy jungler should be around this area, then you would understand that it's very high risk, high reward in a sense, to gank mid lane or top lane for that matter. You would know that it's much safer to gank bot lane. And you need to keep an eye on these things, and this will help you improve a lot quicker. So that's about it. Next thing that I would like to share with everyone, I think that everybody should know, is looking up how to clear with your specific champion, how to kite, how to clear fast, and learning from these, grinding out clears in the practice tool, and that way you will just understand how to become better at the game just by clearing. Because I like to think like this: the more time you spend on the camps, the less time you will have making some plays, making ganks, making invades, taking objectives. The more time you spend on the camps, the less time you will have overall in game. So it's really important that you stay focused on your clears, specifically the first clear. After the first clear, it becomes significantly faster, but you still should kite, still look for opportunities around the map, because once you hit that momentum, you should always keep the momentum up, not just get 2 kills somewhere and then slow down going back to clearing, because I don't know, I don't even know the reason. Because if you have 2 kills early, that advantage should be used for snowballing other lanes, yourself, and just overall taking over the game real fairly quickly, and the game should be done by 20 minutes. And if you learn how to kite fast and just clear your camps fast, then I guarantee you, you will become a better player just by learning that simple concept. The other thing is that this is like a bonus tip. Think about scuttle crabs as a little dragon that you should always take, but that you should try and always take. Same with dragons. Don't always go for the dragons if you have a better play. Always prioritize Herald over dragons. If it's the first drake or the second drake, even sometimes, don't shy away from just taking Herald instead of Drake. Because a lot of times, people, especially in low elo, will tend to throw games just because they want to fight over a dragon that doesn't really mean anything. Because think about it this way. Dragon, yes, cool buffs and all. Herald takes down 2 turrets. That's a win game. Basically. Because you get so much gold from taking turrets, whilst this will give you like 5 MR or 5 armor or something, or just a little bit attack damage. Sure, it's cool, but dragons doesn't really win you the game that often, unless it's like the very late, and because dragons very scale into late game, and as the soul and everybody progresses and items are already built, then it's just who is stronger with all these other buffs. So always prioritize heralds, barons, everything that's on this side of the map. Always prioritize basically what's in here, because a lot of times it's much safer. A lot of times herald is very often free, and you can just sneak it in if you cleared out vision and you approximately know where the enemy jungler is and where everyone else is. So I don't have that many tips anymore for you guys, so just make sure that you learn about your champion, I would say, is the most important thing. And also a little bonus tip, once you clear a camp, for example, if I'm on wolves, you should try to do this a lot. So you see, I cleared wolves, and now I'm gonna click to blue, and I'm gonna watch mid lane. And then once again, I start clearing blue. And now while I'm walking to the scuttle, I'm gonna check mid, I'm gonna check top. Of course, all of these lanes are pushed in because of the minions, but I would just be looking at both of these lanes. And why not bot? Because what the hell I'm gonna do bot? I'm not gonna be able to make it. So if the situation is great, I'll go for it. If anything, I can just go for invade. If I know approximately where the jungler is, I can go for some cheesy plays, and so on and so forth. Always try to, in between camps, just check out your lanes, and not with your F keys, because F keys doesn't sometimes provide you with enough information. So I would just recommend just clicking on specific place that you would want to see any information. So that's about it, guys. Make sure that you like and subscribe for this channel. So I'm gonna be posting a lot more videos, more videos, and I hope to see you guys soon. It's been really great. It's been really great. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you learned something today. I hope it was somewhat informative, and I hope you guys helped and just improved a little bit. Yeah, peace out.